Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday here in London town, 9 a.m. And we're going to start our Pilates routine. A little bit of equipment today. We're going to use a yoga brick. If you don't have a brick, feel free to grab a paperback book. It should be a fairly thick paperback book if you have one. It doesn't need to be as big as this, but it should be as thick as you can. And we're going to throw in some weights just to add a little bit of extra challenge to some of the exercises and for our upper body. So if you do have a set of light weights, go ahead and grab those now. Also, you might want to make sure you've got some water to hand and feel free to put on some music or something for your workout. And we're going to start standing up. Come to the end of your mat. Have a look at your feet. Toes and heels should be in a line with your feet hip width apart. A little bit of rock forward and back from the balls of the feet to your heels. 2 more. And then just settle somewhere in the middle, just pressing into those toes. Breathe in, lift the arms overhead. And then breathe out, come up onto your toes. Finding your balance and relaxing your shoulders down away from the ears, and then turn to your left. Keep high on the toes as you twist to the side, hips stay facing forwards. Inhale back to the center. Twist to your right, breathing out. Inhale, come back to the center. Twist to the left. And back to the front. One more time, turning to the right. Back to the center, arms out to the side, lower your heels down. Drop your chin to your chest and round your spine, rolling all the way down over your legs. Just hang there for a moment. Now I want you to bend your right knee, keep your left leg straight, and bend your left knee with your right leg straight. One more time each way, right knee bends. Bend the left knee and then soften both knees and get your hands down to the mat. Walk forward, breathing out into your plank. Once you're there, we're going to lift that left leg up and down 5 times, pointing the left toe. 4. Shoulders stay over the hands, looking off the end of the mat. Last 2 and 1. Tuck the toe under, switch legs, right leg up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck the toe under. Now we're going to tap your opposite hand to shoulder for 8, 7, 6, a little bit of rocking side to side, but try to minimize the movement. Sit there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the starting point, back to your plank, just holding that strong plank. Squeeze the glutes, zip the core tight, then lift your hips up, press into your heels, hold your downward dog stretch, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, check that your feet are still parallel. Roll yourself all the way up. I want you to, once you're up to standing, just reach your arms behind you, palms facing the front, thumbs pointing up to the ceiling, and just do a big circle. Reaching the arms forward, turning the palms, turning the thumbs to the back wall, really opening up the chest, opening up the rib cage. One more circle in this direction. Reaching back, up, over, and around. Now we're going to reverse it, leading with your pinkies, and then reach it back. One more circle that way. Lift up. And reach back. Good. Then just drop your chin, round your spine, folding down over your legs. Just hang there for a moment. Nod the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Soften the knees, hands to the mat. Walk forward into your plank, breathing out as you come forward. Lift the head, relax the shoulders, zip the core. We're going to do 6 push-ups. Feel free to drop down to the knees if you need to modify. Elbows stay tight into the sides of the rib cage. Head, shoulders and hips all coming down in one line. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Hold it high, holding your plank for 3, 2, and 1. Then lift your hips up, press into your heels. Hold your stretch. And then walk back towards your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, slowly rolling all the way back to standing. Shoulders and head come up last. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, up into your balance. Hands back down to the sides, heels down to the mat, chin to your chest, rounding the spine. Again, just articulating, waking up that spine, holding your stretch through the hamstrings, just hanging over the legs. And now I want you to sway left and right, just loosening up your lower back. 2. Back to the center, bend the knees, hands to the mat, walk forward, breathing out as you come forward. Into that full plank, shoulders down, core strong. And we're going to turn the knee out to the side, knee to the shoulder, like a Spider-Man crawl. Turning the hip out, stay there for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your plank. And now we're going to go under the body. Alternate sides, knee to elbow. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your plank. And we need to drop down to your elbows. Pull your elbows back towards your toes. Zip your heels together, inner thighs touching. Drop the hips slightly, lift your head, and then just drop your right knee down, and then the left, and right, and left. Stay there for 6, 5. Keep the core strong. Zip the core in, press your mat away, lift the head. Last 2, and 1. Now both knees up. Zip the inner thighs a little tighter. Drop your right hip down to the mat. Inhale to change. Exhale, drop your left hip to the mat. Inhale to change. 4 more. Right and left. Big exhale, each dip of the hip. Last one. Back to the center. Just hold that low plank. Squeeze the inner thighs. Press the mat away. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees. Stretch your back. Stretch your arms. And rest your head. Okay, just drag your hands back, sitting up. Back onto your heels. Grab your brick. And change position so you're on your back. Good. Lift the knees up to tabletop. Slot the brick high between your inner thighs and wrap your knees around the top of the brick. Slide your fingertips under your lower back. You should have a little gap there, but the lowest back rib is sinking down into the mat. But we have that little gap, that little curve of your lower back. Squeeze the brick tight and really lift the perineum, lift the pelvic floor. Imagine your sit bones drawing together. Then lift your head, lift your shoulders, look towards the brick and start pumping the arms. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. So you either stay here with the knees in tabletop position, or you can extend. Try to get the heels touching, toes slightly turned out, and really squeeze that brick tight, whether you've got the knees in tabletop or the legs long. Strong breath. Breathing in for 4 beats, and then out for 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Now look towards your abdominals. Everything should be drawing down, not bulging up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the brick a little tighter. Think pelvic floor again. And 2, 3. Aim for 3 more breaths. Breathe. 2, 3. Get the shoulders high. Really reach those hands to the wall in front of you. Chin to your chest. Last one. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Great. Shoulders down. Hands come behind the head. We're going to keep the knees in tabletop for a moment. Again, squeeze brick tighter, draw the belly button in, lift the pelvic floor, and then peel your shoulders up as you stretch your legs out. Turning the toes out, zipping the heels together, zipping the inner thighs together, then lower those legs down. Exhale, lift them back up. Inhale, take the shoulders back, bend your knees. Again, shoulders high, legs long, pointing the toes, adding that turn out, that rotation. Heels together, toes turn out, little V between your heels, lower the legs as you inhale. Exhale to lift them back up, and then inhale, drop the shoulders, bend the knees. 2 more times. Now, if you need to modify that, you can keep your knees bent and lower with the knees bent, or stretch the legs down and up and back. The important thing is that you maintain your control. Try to maintain a neutral spine. Shoulders high, legs long, little turnout, squeeze the brick, lift the pelvic floor, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, and then take the shoulders back. Grab your brick and use it to hug your knees into your chest as you rock side to side. Now swap your brick for your weights. So weights in your hands. Weights are going to make it harder. If you want to modify, you want to keep it at a lower level, don't add the weights. And if you don't have any weights, don't worry about it. There's still quite a lot of challenge, even without the extra weight. Just adds a little bit more. Breathe out, lift the hands, lift the head, peel your spine up, and stretch forward. Breathe in, straighten at the back, shoulders down. I'm going to breathe out, come halfway back and hold. Now turn to the left. Look to that left corner of the room. Inhale back to the center. Squeeze the legs together. Point the toes. Twist to the right. Inhale, center. And left. And center. So scooping the abdominals. Really reaching to that wall behind you. Stretch the arms long. 2 more times. Out. And back. And reach. And back. Hold it at the front. Now go down an inch. Let's see if you can lift the arms up towards your ears and then try to resist gravity as you roll all the way back down to the mat. Back to the hands touch the floor. Inhale and then exhale. Hands, head, spine, curl up. Stretch forward. Straighten up the back, shoulders down, long neck. Then breathe out, come halfway back, second twist. We have one hand touching the opposite hip, the other arm reaching behind your ear. Turning the shoulders, but keeping the pelvis still. So there's no movement through the legs, no movement through the hips. Check that your feet aren't sliding side to side. Stay there for 4. Again, arms long and straight, really reach across the body. Last 2. And 1. And again, both arms up to those ears. You can slowly, slowly, slowly roll yourself down to the mat. Inhale, reach the arms behind. Exhale, lift the hands, peel the spine up, and stretch forward. This time I want you to take the hands down to the floor. Wrap around the backs of the ankles and so you can draw your chest a little closer to the knees. Pull your toes in to flex your feet and go a little deeper into that hamstring stretch. Now point the toes once again, curl your spine back into a straight back float, your hands up. We're gonna breathe out and come halfway back. Hold here. Click the shoulders back, lift the chest a little higher, then lift the right leg up, try to touch the ankle. Inhale down, lift the left leg up, touch the ankle. Try to keep those hands high, so try to take the foot up to the hands. Don't lower the hands down towards the foot. One more each side, and then we're gonna try both legs. If you can, zip the legs together, lift both legs up, touch the ankles, and down, lengthening, stretching through those toes. Using the breath, exhale, lift. The more you squeeze the legs together, they're more like a plank. They're a little lighter. Last one, lift and lower. Now just slowly roll your spine back down. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And 2 times we're just gonna do our classic roll up. Just peeling the spine up. Stretch forward. Inhale into a straight back. Exhale, rounding the spine, rolling down. Anchoring the legs to the mat as you breathe out, rolling up once again. Stretch forward. Straighten the back. And then roll it down. Good. Pull your knees into your chest. A little bit of movement side to side. Just massage out any tension through the lower back. I'm going to keep the weights in the hands as much as you can. If you feel like it's starting to feel a little too much, feel free to drop the weights. We're going to hug your right knee and extend your left leg out. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. It's like you're propped on the tips of your shoulder blades. Belly button pulled in tight. Switch the legs. So just those fingertips touching the legs, the weights either side of that knee. Stay there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees in, hands behind the head with the weights. Twist, twist, crisscross. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square the shoulders and then reach both arms and legs. Exhale, inhale for 6. Chin to chest. If you get the shoulders any higher, 5. If the neck is starting to strain, just drop the head down for 1 and then curl it back up. Let's aim for 4 more. 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And just hug the knees and let the head come down. Turn your head side to side, stretching your neck. Good. All right, let's drop the weights. Lift the toes up to the ceiling. Circle your ankles both ways. Point the toes, hands come behind the head, elbows out wide. We're gonna breathe out, peel your shoulders up. Lower back is down, looking towards the thighs, stretch the legs long. Turn towards the opposite leg with the shoulder. Inhale, change, exhale, twist. And keep the movement slow. Try to really lift. Think elbow reaching towards that knee. Elbows stay wide as if you have a broomstick, forcing the arms out behind your head. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Take the shoulders down, hug the knees in. Now lift the toes up. Lift your shoulders up. And I want you to tap your fingers behind one leg and then switch. So we're not holding the legs, we're just kind of touching the fingertips together. Stay there for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4. So you have to work a little harder to keep the head and shoulders up rather than the classic scissor. Last 2 and 1. Take the shoulders back, pull the knees in. Stretch your legs out long. Just take a deep breath. Just make any adjustments or shake out any tension. Maybe rocking the hips side to side if you feel any tension in your lower back. Cross your right leg over the left. Hands behind the head. Initiate with that pelvic floor lift. So Perineum lifting up and away, belly button scooping in tight, ribs pointing towards your hips, and then curl the shoulders up off the mat, looking down past your toes. Inhale, lower, and lift. Make sure you're not pulling the back of the head, the back of the neck. Your head just resting in the pads of your fingertips. Stay there for 4 and 3. Again, keep initiating with that pelvic floor, those deeper abdominals where everything draws down rather than bulges up. Hold the last one up, little crunches there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now lift your right knee up, crunch towards your knee for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and freeze. Now twist and center. Get that left elbow up to the ceiling. Really squeeze the right side of the waist. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Drop the head. Extend the right leg. Inhale, just stretching the body longer. Maybe walking those legs a little further along your mat. Decompress the spine. Press the left leg over the right, changing the cross of the legs. Squeeze the glutes. Stretch your legs. Scoop the core. And then curl the head and shoulders up and down. Lift and lower for 6, 5, 4. Again, make sure you're not pulling the back of the head. The abdominals are lifting. You imagine heavy bands between your ribs and your hips shortening. Hold the last one. Draw the belly button down. Little pulses. 8, 7. Keep the legs stretched. Keep the legs active. Last 3, 2, and freeze. Lift your left knee up to tabletop. Knee above the hip. Shin parallel to the floor. Pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now twist to your left, elbows wide. Inhale, center. Lift that right shoulder, right elbow. Squeeze the left side of the waist. Big exhale, each twist. Staying there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then drop the shoulders, stretch the legs out, reach the arm overhead. Big breath in and exhale. Just let it go. Good. All right, we're going to walk our feet in towards your hips. Pick up your brick once again and place the brick between your knees. You should be able to touch your heels with your fingertips. You kind of shift the shoulders side to side. Press your lower back down into the mat. Squeeze the brick tight. We're going to lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath into the sides of the rib cage with that lower back kind of flush into the mat, imprinting into the spine. One more inhale to hold. And then exhale, curl your spine up, tailbone, hip bones, lower back, middle back, all the way up till you're on your shoulders. Squeeze the brick a little tighter. Maybe walk your feet a little closer together. And then drop the hips down, touch the mat, and then squeeze all the way back up. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Try to narrow the waist. Get the transverse abdominals, your deep abdominal muscle working, as well as your glutes. Stay there 4 more. And 3. Last 2, 1. We're going to hold the hips high. Squeeze your brick a little tighter. Transfer the weight into your left foot. We're going to try to float your right foot up off the mat. Look down your body. That brick should be perpendicular to the floor. Try not to let it tilt. Same thing if it's a book. Flex and point your right foot. Flex, point for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish with the foot flex. Slide it back down. Transfer the weight into that right foot and send your left leg up. Keep the pelvis level. Check that book, that brick, whatever you're using between those knees should not be tilting. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex the foot, slide it back down. Another way to know if you're not moving the body is if that foot kind of tucks back in perfectly. So if it kind of hits that same exact spot. Lift the right leg again, flex and point. 8, 7, 6, 5. Little bit of squeeze on the brick. 4, pelvis level, knees level. 2, 1, flex, slide it right back into that spot. Make sure that the knees haven't moved. Send your left leg, last one. Flex and point. 8, 7, press into the right heel. See if you can get your hips any higher. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flex, drop the foot down. Breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you. And then breathe out. Slowly roll your spine back down to the mat. 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Now just take your hands behind your head. Imprint the lower back into the mat. Curl your shoulders up. Squeeze your brick tight. Exhale. Inhale, lower the head down. Exhale again. Imprint the spine. Squeeze the brick, curling up. Inhale, release. So it's zipping that transverse abdominal. It's like a belt is holding you down to the floor as you curl the shoulders up. Now we're going to cross the hand across the body to the opposite knee. Inhale, change, exhale, switch. And change, just reaching, really getting to the top of that knee. So touch and then stretch a little further. Stay there for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, lower back to the mat, and 1. Good. Take the head down, take the hands back to your sides. We're going to do one more set of shoulder bridge. Then we're going to have a little moment to have a sip of water. So just see if you can push through. So heels are up this time. So on your tiptoes, still with that brick between the knees. Pelvis is level. We're going to imprint the lower back to the mat. Draw the belly button in. Lift your hands up to the ceiling. Hold your scoop. Hold your imprint for breath into the sides of the rib cage. And then as you breathe out, start peeling the spine slowly up, one vertebra at a time. Once the hips are high, button your ribs a little closer towards your hips. Narrow the waist if you're tightening a belt. One notch tighter around that waist. We're going to go straight into our leg lift. So we're going to lift the right foot up. Extend that leg. Flex and point. 8, 7, 6, 5. Look down your body. Brick, book, whatever you're using should be perpendicular to the board. Make sure it's not tilting. 2 and 1. Keep the toe pointed as you slide it back into place. Transfer the weight without shifting the pelvis. Send your left leg. Flex and point. Keep the pelvis high. Keep the pelvis level. Stay there for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Point the toes. Slot that toe back in place. Squeeze the glutes a little tighter. Send your right leg up. Check the knees are level. Pelvis level. Start moving the foot. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide it back in place. Last set. Back and forth. 8, 7, 6. Do your little checks. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Take that toe down. Now drop both hips down with the feet on the mat. Squeeze the lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Stay there for 6, 5. Make each one really count. Try to get the hips higher than the line that goes between your knees and your shoulders. For 3 and 2. Last 1. Holding high. Breathe in. Take the backs of the hands all the way down to the floor. And then breathe out. Slowly articulate your spine down to the mat. Activating, making every joint work individually. Once the tailbone comes down, we drop the heels, hands to your sides. Take the brick away. Draw your knees into your chest. Lift your head and roll up to sitting. Now, grab a quick sip of water before we change position. All right, we're going to come back to the abdominals again. I want you to pop the brick back between your knees, pick up your weights, and we're going to come into our C curve. So feet should be about the same distance apart as that brick is. So your feet, your knees, and your hips should all be in a line. We're going to round the spine, roll yourself back into your C curve, float your weights up over your knees, and we're going to start just down an inch. Exhale, scoop the abdominals a little tighter. Inhale, lift. So small movement, buttoning your ribs a little closer towards your hips, opening up your lower back, scooping the abdominals in. Last 2, and hold. Now open your left arm out to the side. Inhale back to the center, elbows wide. Twist the right arm out to the side. Inhale, center. 4 more. Twist, really open out. Come back. Reach, look to the back corner of the room, and back. Last 2, and back. And 1. Back to the front. Now exhale, lift the arms overhead. Inhale, lower. Keep that C curve. Keep the belly button pulled in tight. Lift and lower. 2 more. Up and down. Keep the feet zip to the mat. Keep squeezing the brick. Lift and lower, and then a quick stretch. Inhale, and then exhale, round the spine. Roll yourself all the way back down, and then take the hands to the left. Elbows wide, shoulders down. Squeeze your brick. Make sure the feet are in line. The knees are in line with the hips. Go down an inch, up an inch. Tuck and lift. Stay there. 6 and 5. Last 4. Keep squeezing the knees. 3, 2. Hold the last one. Exhale, lift the arms overhead. Inhale, lower. 3 more. Lift and lower. Last 2. And down. And 1. Hold the last one up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands back to your knees and just rest. Take a breath. Other side. So tilt, scoop, round the spine. Turn to the right, elbows wide, shoulders down, chin up, and we go down an inch. Make sure your shoulders are facing your hands. Down an inch, up an inch. For 6. Keep the feet glued to the mat. Keep squeezing the brick. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Hold the last one 4 times. Arms over your head. Get them out of the peripheral vision. Inhale down. Exhale up. Modification. You can alternate arms or feel free to drop those weights if you need to. Last one. We're going to hold it up. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands back to the knees and sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to drop the brick and change positions to all 4s. Now we're going to have the weights at the ends, at the corners of your mat. I'm going to pick them up a little bit later, one at a time. So knees directly beneath your hips. Draw the core in and extend your right leg back. Try to lock that knee out. Really lift the back of the knee. Lift the leg up and down for 8, 7, 6. Keep your rib to hip connection. So don't let the ribs sink down to the mat. 3 more here. 2, and 1. Now bend the knees. Sole of the foot points up to the ceiling. Pulse up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point the toe. Turn the knee out. Turn the toe in. Press the mat away. Zip the core tighter. 4 circles each way. Up and around. Up and around. For 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. 5 the other way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now extend that right toe out to the right corner of the mat. Drop your right hip slightly. Left hand to the left corner of the mat. Pick up that weight and lift the arm and the leg up and down. Lift and lower. Stay here for 6 and 5. Imagine you can hold a cup of tea in the middle of your back, so no movement through the spine. Last 3. Reach the fingertips, reach to the toes. Lift as high as you can. Hold the last one up. Stay there for 4, 3, stretching longer, lifting higher, and then slowly back down. Drop that weight. Keep that toe pointing to the right corner of the mat. Now we lift it up and over tap the left corner of the mat to the right, left, and right. Each time the toe touches the mat, it gets a little bold with the energy. Lift, tap, lift. Stay there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot comes back in line to the hip, and we drop the right knee down. Just sit back onto the heels for a moment. Shake out any tension through the shoulders or the wrists. And then come straight back down for the other side. Slide your left leg back. Lock that knee up. Zip the belly button up and away. Press your mat away. Lift the leg up and down. Good. Stay there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Now hinge that foot in towards your hip. Keep the knee up in line with the hip as well. Pulse up. 8, 7, 6. Really kick that sole foot up to the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. Now point the toe. Turn the knee out. Circle the knee. 5 and 4. Think about your upper body for a moment. Press the mat away. Slightly pulling your hands apart like you're ripping your mat in 2. Hold the last one. Reverse. 5 the other way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now extend that left toe to the left corner of the mat. Slide your right hand to the right corner of your mat. Lift the arms, drop your left hip slightly. Lift the right arm to the left leg and down. Lift and lower. Back stays level. Strong exhale with each lift. Stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the last one. Stretch a little longer. Lift a little higher. Hang it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And drop the hand. Drop the foot. Keep that left toe pointing to the left corner of the mat. We're going to go up and over, up and back. Long, strong left. Tap, lift. Each time that toe touches, you get a little bulge of energy. Stay there. 8, 7, 6. Don't sacrifice the stability through the pelvis or the spine. For that movement, everything stays controlled. We move the leg without moving the spine. Last 3, 2, and 1. Just pull that left knee in. Sit back onto your heels. Open your knees wide. Slide your hands forward as you drop your ribs between your hips. Good. Drag your hands back. Roll out your shoulders, we're gonna come up to standing, and we're gonna need those weights. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water while we're changing. So the weights come up. We're gonna do an upper body series without many stops. So we're just gonna flow from one exercise to the other. We're gonna add a little bit of balancing. So when we lift your right knee up, just hold it high, arms out to your sides, little circles. 1, 2, keep the core strong. Keep your breath flowing. Go 8 more, 8 in this direction. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch the legs. Circle forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that left foot. Now big shift to the right. Float your right knee up. Now the arms up and down. Lift and lower. 6 and 5. Last 4. Core strong. Find a focal point. 3, 2, and 1. Switch the feet. Good. Arms overhead. Pull the elbows into a W and lift. Down and up. Stay here for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms up. Foot goes down. Keep both feet down as you lower and lift. Keep the core strong. I'm going to turn so you can see there's no movement through the spine. I'm not rocking back as those arms go up. Good. Stay there for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Hold the arms over your head, button your ribs towards your hips, and then just slowly lower the arms out in front of you. We're going to circle the arms like you're treading water. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 8 the other way. So keep pushing through. 8, 7, make it big. 6, you can change the grips on those weights if you need to. Just kind of wrap those hands around or use the thumbs to grip. Last 3, 2, and 1. Just drop the arms down. Roll your shoulders back and roll them forward. Good. Step your feet wide. Turn your toes out. Soften your knees. Drop your hips down. Tuck your tailbone. Shoulders back. Pull your knees apart and then float your hands up in front of you. Inhale. Stretch the legs and bend the knees. Lift and lower. Feel that stretch through your inner thighs. Try to track your knees over your toes. Really open the knees out wide. Keep your chest lifted. Again, I'm going to turn. You can see I could be sliding down a wall. So a lot of people tend to lean forward. Imagine balancing a book on top of your head. Last 2. And hold the next one down. Tilt the pelvis a little further. Button the ribs towards your hips. Little pulses low. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift one heel higher. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale, stretch, and bend. High to low. Narrow the waist. Relax the shoulders. Hold your tension through the abdominals. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2. Hold it low. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right heel. Lift the left heel. Arms out to your sides. Inhale, stretch, and bend. Lift and lower. Again, 6. Exhale with a drop. Inhale with the lift. Last 4, 3. Core strong. 2. Hold it down. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wrap those arms back around. Lace the fingers together. Both heels high. Tuck the tailbone. Inhale, stretch the legs. Find your balance. Exhale, drop. High to low for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3. Lift and lower. Last 1. Hold it down. Pulse it low. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, elbows wide, 2, and 1. Hold. And now we're going to alternate heels. Right heel, left heel, up and down, right and left. Stay there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels down. Stretch your legs. Turn your toes forward. Feet parallel. Take your weights down to the floor. Drop them or pop them to the side. And just hold your stretch here for a breath. Then take both hands to one foot, bending that knee. Other leg is straight. And then lift your top hand up to the ceiling, turning the shoulders. And then hands come to the opposite foot. Bend that knee. Other leg is straight. One hand holds the foot as the top hand reaches up to the ceiling, turning the shoulders. And then inhale, both legs straight. Hands to the mat. One more time, we're going to twist. So left hand to the mat, right arm up to the ceiling. Keep the pelvis square. Pelvis stays level. We just turn the shoulders. Inhale down. Right hand to the mat. Left hand to the ceiling. And take it back down. Turn your toes out. Soften your knees. Drop your head. And roll yourself back up to standing. Just roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward. And then come back down to your mat. Good. Okay, we've done some fairly strong exercises. I'm going to now dial it back briefly and go a little deeper into our core. We're going to lift the right knee. We're going to lift the left knee. Drop your weights for a second. We're going to pick them up in a minute and just check you've got that neutral spine. But sink your ribs down. Touch your hip bones. Try to draw your lower abdominals together, almost like you're pulling your your hips together. Lift the perineum, lifting that pelvic floor, drawing the tailbone up towards your pubic bone. Everything else stays tight. Now pick up your weights. Weights are over your shoulder. We're going to extend your right arm and your left leg. Leg stretches long. Think about your rib cage. That lowest back rib stays on the mat. But imagine we have a very ripe small strawberry under the arch, under the curve of your lower back. So we're not imprinting that spine. We need to protect that little gap under your lower back. Pelvis is level, so hip bones and pubic bone are level in one plane. We're not tilting forward or backward. Stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Come back to the starting point. Now you're going to lift your toes up to the ceilings. Get those legs as straight as you can. We're going to open one arm and one leg out to the side like a book. So let's go right arm, left leg, aiming for a straight leg. Back to your starting point. Left arm, right leg. And back. Think about those ribs. Lowest back rib should still be down. Out and back. If you need to modify this, you can bend the knee as well. But try the straight legs. Out and back. Opposite arm and leg. And back. For 4. The arm and leg that aren't moving have to stay over that shoulder and the hip. Last 2. And back. And 1. And back. Now bend those knees back to tabletop. Zip the belly button and lift your pelvic floor. Lower your right toe down to the mat. Hold it there. Follow with the left toe. Lift the right knee. Lift your left knee. Zip the core in really tight. Think rib to hip connection without smushing your little strawberry under that lower back, protecting that space. Lift and lift. Belly button drawing down. Right toe touches. Left toe touches. Right knee up. Left knee up. Now flex your foot. Pull your toes in. Drop your left heel. So we're changing the leading leg to the left. Flexing the foot rather than pointing. Lift and lift. Everything else stays the same. Spine in neutral. Pelvis in neutral. Hands over the shoulders. And lift. And lift. Let's go 2 more. Left heel down. Just touch the mat without putting any weight into it. Right heel down. Left knee up. Right knee up. One last time. Left heel touches. Right heel touches. Lift. And lift. Now keep the knees in tabletop, feet together, knees together. Zip the inner thighs. We open the arms out to the side, both arms out, and lift. Open out, and lift. So feel that stretch through your chest, maybe through the insides of the arms as you open out and up. Keep the ribs down, keep the belly button in, keep the pelvic floor lifting, so don't let go of those deep abdominals as we switch the focus to the arms. Last 2, and lift. And 1. Now lift and hold. And we'll overextend those shoulders. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling and then drop the shoulders down. Again, overextend the shoulders, lifting those fingertips, lifting the shoulders up off the mat. Drop them down. 2 more. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Good. Now just hug your knees in, just smushing that strawberry. Little rock side to side, just really grinding it down into the mat. Pop your weights to the side. Hands down to the along the side of your hips. We're going to lift your hips up as you tuck your knees into your chest. Roll the spine back down, extend the legs out and in. Knees to chest, lift the hips, roll them down, extend out and in. 2 more. Knees to chest, hips down, extend, and bend. Last one, knees to chest, roll the hips down, extend, and bend. Then roll yourself all the way up. We'll just briefly come onto our front. Okay, if you want to add the weights to this, it's going to make it a little harder. So feel free to grab the weights in the hands, elbows out to your sides, 90-degree bends in your elbows, belly button pulled up away from the mat, tailbone tilted towards your heels, and then lift your chest up. Lift the arms, lift the elbows. Inhale down. Exhale, lift and lower. Try to relax your feet, relax your legs, just the upper body working. 3 more. And 2, and 1. Lower everything down, reach your arms out, point your weights up to the ceiling or thumbs up to the ceiling, zip the core in tight, and then try to lift the arms up. Inhale, lower. It's quite strong with the weights, so if you feel like you can't quite control it, let the weights go and just lift the hands. Or even drag the pinkies along the mat, just lifting the chest, leaving the hands down. Let's aim for 4 more, whichever level you feel like you control. Again, make sure whichever level you've chosen that you have that control. It's not getting into your lower back. You have the muscles of your upper back to work. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now tuck your hands, maybe with those weights, back along your side, and then lift the chest. Feet stay on the mat, shoulder blades together. Inhale, lower, and lift, and lower. Try to reach the hands down the sides of the legs. Stay there for 3 and 2. Last one. Good. Now drop the weights. Next one, we're going to lift the legs, lift the hands. Try to draw your heels together. Inhale, drop everything back down. Zip the core. Exhale, lift. Heels reaching towards each other. Hands reaching together behind your back. Inhale, down. 2 more like that. Chest up, looking down to the mat. So lengthen the back of the neck. Pinch those shoulder blades together. And then release. Last one. Lift. Squeeze the inner thighs. Lift the chest. And drop it back down. Now just let the weights go. Hands under your shoulders. Sit back onto your heels. Stretch out your arms. Stretch out your back. Good. Come up to all fours. Tuck your left foot under the body. Left knee on the outside of that left arm. And slide the right leg a little further back. Look up to the ceiling. Inhale to hold. And then exhale, drop down to your elbows, down to your chest, turn onto one cheek. So really sinking down into the mat. Add a little bit of movement side to side, just easing that chest down a little closer, stretching your right leg a little further away. Good, let's change legs. Walk your hands back, uncross your left foot, tuck your right foot under, right knee to the outside of that mat. Really open it out, open up that hip, slide the left leg back, look up. Open the shoulders, and then drop your elbows, drop your chest, turn onto the opposite cheek, and sink down into the mat, adding a little bit of movement side to side. Good. And come up to sitting, just walk your hands back. With your equipment out of the way, we're going to come into a ballet stretch. Your legs out wide. Just jiggle the legs a little bit. Sink the backs of the knees down, pull your toes in, sit as tall as you can. Feel free to sit higher onto your brick if you need to. We're going to slide your left hand down your right leg, reaching that pinky towards your pinky toe as the right arm reaches behind you. Breathe in, lift and lengthen, turn, right hand sliding down your left leg. Keep both sit bones anchored to the mat. Inhale, back to the center, lift and lengthen, zip the core tight, twist, reach, pinky to the pinky toe. And back, and almost like you're pulling your head off, lengthening the neck. Right hand to the right foot, twisting the shoulders. Inhale back. Now just take your hands to the front. Slide them forward. Keep reaching, 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 going as far as you can. Hold, just try to inch those feet a little longer. Pull your toes in. Go a little further and then sweep your arms out to the sides, pressing into those feet. Good. And just drawing yourself back up. One stretch to either side. Right elbow to the inside of the right knee. Turn the torso, reach the arm overhead. And then switch it to the other side. Left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Rotate the rib cage. Reach the arm overhead. And back. Then shoulder and feet together. Knees out to the sides. Opening up the hips. Let the head hang. And then sit up tall. Hold your toes and press those knees down. Good. Okay. Come back to all fours. Just get you back up to standing. Round the spine. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees. Press into the heels. Pedal through the feet. Right heel to left. Right to left. Both heels down. And walk your hands back to your feet. Let the head hang. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Soften your knees. Round the spine. Slowly rolling back to standing. Shoulders and head up last. Float the arms up. Lift up onto your toes. Relax the shoulders. Zip the core. And then lower the heels and just swing the arms. Good. Give yourself a round of applause. Well done. We've got one more session this afternoon. And then I'm going to be announcing a Zoom session tomorrow morning. If anyone wants to join in on that, check our Instagram page. See you next time. Bye.